Around a month ago, Nick Fuentes invaded my Instagram Reels feed, and a couple of weeks ago, I finally decided to see what all the fuss was about and actually tune into one of his shows. Since then, I've been pretty hooked on it. He's an incredible speaker. To what extent you agree with his ideas, you have to give him that. He is amazing at monologuing, continuing on talking about a wide breadth of mainly like political topics. It's amazing, like at his age, the amount of information this guy has been able to, I guess, compile, and his ability to put it out for his audience in a very coherent way is very impressive. What I wanted to talk about today was three things, non-political stuff that I've picked up on that I appreciate about Nicholas J. Fuentes. First of all, he has completely decentered women in terms of the videos he puts out. And him as a person, he doesn't pander to women. He isn't trying to cater to the female gaze, so to speak. He's almost like the perfect feminist in some regards. What I mean by that is that he doesn't appear to be giving any special attention or treating, pandering to the female members of his audience. And yes, he is very insulting, and he does whatever he can, it seems, to deter and, to put off women in his audience. But there isn't this layer of performativity that I see from pretty much every other content creator. You can tell times when they're either holding back or presenting things in a different way, really to just appeal to girls, and that's just not present with him. He kind of, I guess, semi-ironically describes himself as an incel, but to me, it's more so that what he is doing, again, it's not about to the extent that I agree with his ideas. I don't actually have the ability to even fully engage with a lot of the stuff that he's talking about. I just don't know enough. But it's very clear that he is not doing what he is doing. He's not putting out this content in order to pander to women. And I think that is a kind of exalted position for a content creator to be in, to not be doing that. Second thing I like about this guy is his kind of adversarial relationship with his own audience. I'm talking about mainly the super chatters and, talking with his chat at the end of the streams. I think it's a very healthy thing for people who make content online to not, again, it's about not pandering, but this time to the audience it can be even harder. People who are giving him sometimes hundreds of dollars, and I actually do appreciate that he chooses to not filter his response to them through, he's not overly conscious about the fact that the person who's just sent him a message has given him money. I will say that I don't really think it's a good idea that he has a group chat where people can pay a monthly fee to have access to him. I think that maybe is kind of a mistake. I mean, from a financial perspective, I understand that, but it's just not something that I just generally approve of, people selling access to themselves in that regard. But I do really appreciate that he's quite mean to the super chatter, donators. You've got to remember that the people that choose to give money to a content creator are going to be the most unwell, sycophantic, needy members of your audience. But yet, whenever you watch a normal YouTuber, live streamer, etc., they are, they cater to these people. They treat them nicely because of the financial incentive, and he doesn't do that, and I appreciate it. The final thing, I recently have been trying to watch a lot of his older interviews with people to try and understand the progression of this guy, his ideas, and how this guy has changed. And the most recent one I watched was his recent talk with Dave Smith. I really can't stand Dave Smith. And just to stress it, it's not a reflection on his libertarian beliefs or whatever. I hate his comedy and I can't stand him as a person. And Dave Smith probably talked for about 90% of this podcast, the recent one he just did with Nick Fuentes. Given that, for someone like me, if I was in that position, if someone is talking so much at you, I don't know. What I'm saying is, Nick Fuentes is incredibly good at actually listening and responding to people. It's a skill that, I haven't seen it to this extent in another person in these podcast formats. I don't know if he's taken Ritalin or something to actually be able to focus on this, but because what I will see, not just the Dave Smith interview, but I'll see in a lot of these podcasts that Nick Fuentes will go on, is someone will come to him with their very specific issues with their perception of Fuentes' worldview, and lay out maybe 2 or 3 minutes where they're talking. It was the same on the Red Scare one, from what I've seen of that. I haven't seen the whole thing, but they'll come with this kind of, constructed monologue towards him, trying to explain an issue that they have with an aspect of Fuentes' worldview, and he will be able to listen to it, and kind of, he doesn't interject, and give a very a response that it's very clear that he's actually listened to what the person has said to him. It's like the polar opposite of, I don't know, someone like a Destiny or Vosh or some kind of, these debate bro streamers or whatever. It's something that, it's a very impressive skill that I see within him, his ability to actually listen and to maintain focus when someone is speaking at him or to him for like multiple minutes. So yeah, those are a few non-political things that I appreciate about Nick Fuentes.